Hello?
Hey there.
Hello.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Okay, we're calling to get a report on you.
Oh, well, I went and took a ultrasound, and they held some little, monitors to my neck, checking the arteries and blood flow and everything. Said everything looked fine. So, and she asked me how long when I started smoking. I said, when I was 15. And she said, well, how old are you now? 72. And she added up, well, you've been smoking 57 years.
Mm.
And then when I got, she finished, Pat said, well, how does it look? She said, well, somebody smoked for 57 years. It's not bad. But it don't look bad at all, you know.
Yeah.
But they didn't find any kind of obstruction in my veins, you know, my carotid artery or whatever and all that, you know. So said I had a good blood flow.
Yeah, well,
Right in there, if it's not a good blood flow, it's what causes strokes, you know.
yeah.
So I got another appointment with a family doctor, Flanagan, in 2 weeks. But I've had a chest X-ray and I've had that done, and I didn't go to that cardiac doctor because they want me to sign a damn thing saying I'd pay it if Medicare didn't, and I just wouldn't sign that. You know?
Well, that's a standard form everybody has to sign that's got Medicare.
Yeah. I don't know if there's something that day. I just didn't want to sign it because, you know, I didn't want something to get out of hand on it because them doctors, you don't never know what they're going to charge, you know.
Yeah.
They keep saying Medicare pay it, and I say, shit. But, see, like, we bought that little $9 a month policy, and it's just handling the paperwork. And they keep saying, that, you know, you don't really have Medicare. You got Sterling, but all they're doing is handling the paperwork. I just hate to get caught up in a damn doctor bill some way, you know.
Yeah.
Because I damn sure can't pay it. So.
Well, the doctor's office handles the paperwork. I don't know what Sterling is supposed.
They're saying that, you know, when they instead of filing with Medicare, they file with Sterling, and Sterling gets their money from Medicare. That's the way I understood it, you know.
Well.
But anyway, everything looks good. I feel too good to be much wrong with me, you know.
Yeah. Or did you go by Letty's and?
Yeah, we went by and got the Airhead. Yeah, I was glad to get them, and I'm gonna have one of them. If I find out, I think Northwestern University down there, carbon date stuff. I'm gonna call them tomorrow, see if they'll carbon date one of them. Larry said that one of these professors over here at LSU told him that, you know, back in the 1800s, when that's when I thought, 1700s, when I thought maybe those airheads was left there. But he said no, by that time they was using metal, that those airheads probably 1,000 years old, you know.
Yeah, but I would take all of them because you told me, somebody told you that those Indian tribes traded rocks, different stones,
Yeah,
you know.
they did. Yeah, they said the little caddos. Of course, I don't guess time and distance meant much to them. Hell, they was packing all their houses with them when they'd make them trips. They just stopped and make camp. But somebody said they went all the way to Oklahoma and got rocks and brought back here.
Yeah, they all look different. They're different. Looks like different shades of a stone.
Different colors too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're hard. I can see where they could kill an animal if they had shot with them.
But I did notice that the tops of them, you know how they would go in and then fan out, and they would wrap that whatever they wrapped around it to shoot on a bow. The tops are gone on 4 of them, but on 2 of them, well, on 1 of them, it's still almost there.
Yeah. Yeah, that might have been broke off when it hit whatever it hit, you know.
Yeah, and that couldn't be used again.
That's about got me. That's all. It's all grassed over down there now. That's about got me ready to take a turning plow down there and roll some of that dirt over and look again about where we. But I know about where we found them. You know, where just a little drop off, kind of a little drop off out in front of that barn.
Well, and in the back too is where I picked up, going out the back door of that barn.
Yeah.
And where it was that red clay from the back on down.
I mean, out toward your bio.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I find them, right on that little slope there where it's clay.
And in the front.
I never did look for them in the front.
Oh, well, I remember picking up at least one in the front.
I swear. Well, that whole hill. See, they was camped right there with that spring. That spring's probably been there for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
It's just a natural. I found out a lot about the water in this area since these people started drilling. That the high water, the seasonal high water level, which is where the water level is on the ground, is only 4 feet deep in this area most of the time. In which I remember now we could just dig post holes certain times of year and hit water, you know.
Yeah. Well, did Letty give you that CD I made for Laird?
Yeah, I got here and I called Laird, and he was trying to get a hold of me today to come down here, and we was gone, but he said he was gonna come tomorrow and get it or listen to it. We'll probably plug it in and listen to it tomorrow when he comes down.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got everything ready.
Well, good. It didn't dawn on me until they were here a day that would be a good way to get that stuff back down there.
Yeah. Well, old lady, we went over to her house and visited with her probably about an hour today after we come from the doctor. She was cooking a pot of okra and tomatoes for Mike. I said, "Oh, Mary Ruth didn't cook."
No, she doesn't. She just eats chip and dip.
Mary, lady said, "Oh, Mike said, well, we might as well take that damn stove out and just put a vending machine in there."
Yeah, some sister said he makes fun of her real bad. He told about one time that their oven didn't work and they didn't know it for a year because she never turned it on.
Well, Letty said she got something wrong with her stomach. Said, hell, she has to run to the bathroom every time she eats.
Well, it didn't have no problem with their stomach up here. They
probably shit all the way home, I imagine. They eat a lot.
They come by. Letty was in. Well, they came by Sunday morning. Well, it was almost noon when they got here. They were coming by for some CDs I'd made them, and Letty came in the kitchen. We had made some ham sandwiches for them on the road back, and Letty said, "Could you put me some of that corn pudding in a Ziploc bag so I'll put it in the cooler to have at home?" Well, they had a cooler, and so we made her 2 Ziploc bags, and I said, "Anything else?" And Mike spoke up, "I'd have some of that fruit salad and some deviled eggs, and I forget what all, an English pea salad Letty wanted." Yeah, they ended up getting ham and some of everything I cooked. And then, well, first of all, Mike said, "Do you have coffee?" And Mark made him some and cut him a piece. I made 2 sweet potato pies. One was in the freezer. And so he had coffee and sweet potato pies. And so I told Mark, I asked them if they wanted that sweet potato pie that was frozen, and they said, yeah. So Bibi called a while ago and said Letty brought her a piece of that pie. But while they was standing around in the kitchen, we was getting all that food ready, I said, how'd y'all do last night? They finally told that Mike snores and farts. And Letty one of them said, "Ooh, Mike, he farted," and Letty said, "Oh, I never smelled nothing like that." And then Mary Ruth went to spraying some kind of spray, and Mary Ruth said it was tutti frutti. She said, I'd have rather smelled a fart." So they all stayed in one room together.
Yeah, she said the second night they both started farting. And that one would make a sound and the other one would answer him.
She said the second night, Mary Ruth and Mike was farting, said one would make a sound and the other would answer him. But they had a good time.
Yeah, Liz said she did. She said she had a real good time.
And we invited Jerry Glenn over, and he came to eat, and I think he ended up having a good time. Bibi said he had already called Kathy and told her what a wonderful meal it was.
Well, that's good. Yeah, well, like I say, old Jerry Glenn, didn't you tell me that Brian was in Florida and he moved down there?
Well, he's down there for a year.
What's he got doing a show down there or something?
No, I don't know.
So he can write music.
He said Brian said he could write better down there in Florida. He's write songs, so.
Yeah.
But anyway, and then Mark played all those old family tapes with me farting, and then Sister telling that Shoney story about that man with his testicles hanging out, and he got to laughing. So, but everybody had a good time, but Bibi said that they had found that you had a fast heart rate.
Well, they said I had an irregular heart rate.
Yeah, well, that's what I've had for years, and that's what Daddy had.
Well, see, there was a guy that was standing there. This little nurse. We heard her life story while it took an hour to do all this. This other guy come in, he was working, and when she said, well, I couldn't understand whether she said regular or irregular. And I said, well, what do you say? Is it irregular? She said, yeah. That said something. I know, and that guy standing there, he said, look, there's four kinds of heart rate. There's regular, irregular, regular, and then another one. He said there's four kinds of heart rates, so like it wasn't any big deal,
Well, it can be because there's ventricular tachycardia where it'll start racing and you can't get it stopped. But I've learned how to do that without having to go to the emergency room. A doctor at the emergency room showed me how to get that back regulated. So
I feel my heart every now and then. I can feel it doing something. Now it's not doing anything, but today when I was up there, I could feel my heart, but most of the times I can't. So evidently it was doing some type of irregular.
Yeah, if it was going fast.
Yeah, felt like it was.
Yeah, you can just take a real deep breath and blow it out kind of slow and keep doing that, and it'll eventually get back in a regular rhythm.
Well, I'll try that next time I have, yeah.
But you have to stay calm because I would always get tense. Then when it starts so fast, then your chest hurts and you think you're having a heart attack, but you have to just stay calm and take a deep breath and blow it out your mouth real slow. And sometimes it took 4 or 5 times for me to do that, but it would go back to normal rhythm.
Yeah. Well, I'll try that next time it happens. I don't hardly ever have any chest pain. When I do, I figure it's gas,
But it'll also make you dizzy if your heart's racing.
Yeah. Well, I don't hardly ever get this. But I hadn't done any strenuous exercise now in 2 or 3 years because of my knee.
Yeah.
I just can't, get to going and doing nothing. But maybe that's why. But I can't having any trouble with my heart.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you went to the doctor. So.
Yeah. Well, she said, those arteries on my neck causes stroke. I said mine would look fine.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. Got an appointment with old Flanagan in 2 weeks, and I guess the rest of it. But I'm not. I just don't do much. In fact, I'm doing too little. I'm trying to ride that bicycle like I tore my balls off trying to ride.
I was gonna say, did it fall over?
I was able to get off of it, back up and grabbed it, and I just stepped off the back of it.
Well, maybe you could put a pillow over that seat.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it again. I got a little magazine today in the mail. They sent us all kind of magazines. And it looks like it's a double seat. It's like a pad for each side of your ass. When you sit on that split seat, I may order me one of them.
Well, you probably could step up on a stool and get on it easier.
Yeah. That's probably what I'll end up doing. I still got it. Those bicycles in good shape. It's one of those that they started making those old-time bicycles again without all the gears. It's just a straight old bicycle.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll call one day and Pat will say, oh, he's riding a bicycle around in the living room, dining room.
I hope so. I won't try. I thought about letting her drive a car around out there in the pasture, me just holding on the card like I used to.
You gotta ride up down that road.
I gotta get some exercise somewhere. I'm just goddamn. Well, I weighed up at Flanagan's, I was 294 pounds. So that's about 100 pounds overweight. So I got to get some of it off somewhere, get some exercise.
Well, I figure it's just.
The lady sure looks thin today.
Yeah, she is thin. She's lost a lot of weight. But
She got some bars. I don't know how she'd ever get out of that house if it caught on fire. But I don't see how anybody could break in there on her. She's the whole neighborhood, there's a lot of blacks living over there now, but I don't believe they could get in there with old Eddie, and Mike bought her a pistol, so I guess she'd shoot him through the window if they tried to break in on her.
Yeah, he had his 2 pistols. I brought out my guns, and he went to the van and got his. And I told him it's not. And then at a pawn shop, when him and Mark Mayruth was out, he found an old double-barrel shotgun he wanted just to hang on the wall. And you have to go through background check and all that in Tennessee. So he couldn't get it. And I told him, don't get stopped with those pistols, because in Tennessee, that's considered a concealed weapon. It's not like Louisiana. So they made it home.
Well, that's the way in Texas, a damn gun, I think any kind, well, maybe a shotgun, but you can't have no shells in there in the cab with you. But a pistol is considered a damn felony in Texas, and I didn't know that until just a couple of years.
Yeah, that's the way it is here. But we wanted to check on you. Now, I wanted Si and Toby to see those arrowheads.
Yeah, they'll both of them be down here. I'll show them to them. And I'm not going to take them and leave them anywhere, but if I could get somebody, it'd be worth a trip to Nactus if they could carbon date them and let me bring them back,
It looks like they could do that somewhere at LSU, but...
I need to call LSU first before I go to Nactus. The reason I was thinking about Nactus is that old Kelly Cawthorn, I used to let him bring his dogs down here and hunt and all. He's a geologist, but he just had one old dog. And his kid was about 9 or 10 years old, and they always looked for arrowheads. His kid found a little old piece of lead. Wasn't much bigger than a fishing lead, but it had something on it, stamped on it. And he took it to Nactus, and they told him that was a trading seal that the French used to trade with the Indians. They used it for money, and they'd buy furs and stuff from the Indians back in the early 1700s.
Yeah.
Indians probably had a big camp right there by that spring, you know.
Yeah, Si said he'd like to put them in a shadow box frame after, y'all get, maybe him and Toby could split them.
Yeah, yeah, Toby's real big in that stuff too. Besides getting to where he's getting more interested in everything around here, you know.
Yeah, and label them. I know I picked those up in the 50s and probably just in the 50s.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and what land they came off of, that ought to be on the.
Every time it rained for years, Daddy, of course, he had all them hogs and cows and mules, and they kept that ground stirred up down there. Wasn't no grass.
Yeah.
But every time it rained, we could just depend on catching it. You know, it just got to be, it wasn't any big deal just to go down there and pick up some arrowheads.
But we wanted to check on you, and.
Well, I'm glad y'all thinking about me.
What about Melissa?
Well, old Melissa is, she's got to the end of this month to move, and she's still looking for a place, but she's more likely just going to end up here with us.
Yeah.
That's been cleaning these bedrooms out, so, you know, we just glad she got a place to go. With Justin, him and, well, Jared stays with his friends most of the time. He hardly ever stays home anyway, and old Justin stays up here with Ray. That girl, that she just looks like more wrong with her, the one that drives him around, than it is Justin. Of course, she sees good, but she just, you know, kind of looks like she's retarded. But anyway, hell, they've been driving all over the country. Her mama, the nurse, bought her a pretty nice late model car. And they was coming across that Jimmy Davis Bridge night before last, and she just rear-ended somebody. And I figured Justin would just go all to pieces, but Melissa said he called her and called the police, you know, and he wasn't. And said he told his mama, said, well, you don't have to be in no hurry to get over here. Said, it's just a fender bender. And Melissa said when she got there, the whole damn hood was knocked off from that car. The poor Justin couldn't see it, you know. The goddamn airbag exploded. and skinned his nose up, but that's all it happened. But that may be a good thing. That girl, I figured it's going to get in a bad wreck, you know. She don't act normal, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm glad y'all called, y'all. If anything else happens, I'll let you know.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks for the airheads and everything.
Okay.
Right.
Bye.